I made it. How are you today? I'm doing good. I can get this set. Oh, I got a glare today. I don't know how to get rid of the glare. Maybe I just don't. Hey, Janet, how are you? Glad you made it. I was trying to figure out how to get rid of this glare on my glasses. I don't know that it's possible. I'll just have to take my glasses off. I'm good. I'm good. I had a busy morning. I'm still trying to figure out how to get rid of my coyote that keeps coming back. It was back yesterday, but not today. Um, make sure my Hey, Christy Betts, how are you? Um, hope you're doing well. Hey, Woodbury Cottage, I'm so glad to meet you. If you have a special name you would like me to call you, just let me know. I don't know everyone's names yet, but I'm trying to learn. So just tell me what you'd like to be known as and where are you from? I'm in Georgia. I took my glasses off because of the glare. Now I can't see right. um, Christy, how's it going? What state are you in? Are you home or are you at the new place? Russell and Angela McBee, South Carolina. Um, we are about 30 miles from Augusta off of I-20. Janet, you're from California. Oh, my sister's from Bakersfield. She'll be on here shortly. That's Central. Let's see. Woodbury. Woodbury Cottage is an unusual name. Where'd you get that name? Um, it's just always kind of interesting how people choose their name for their channel. Sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's just not. Queen Christy. Yes, Christy is a queen or a princess, or you should be treated like a queen, though. I once had, I once, I guess I like to name my dogs. I had a little chihuahua named Princess one time. It seems like we had something called Queen or Queenie. We live in a tiny cottage in the woods. Very cute. We sort of live in a rural area, and we have 10 acres of woods, but my old farmhouse is not in the woods, which I wouldn't mind if it was, but it's not. Okay. I say my name is because I'm learning to do what I can on two-thirds of an acre. Hey, organized pineapple, how are you doing? Hello. Um, two-thirds of an acre. That's I've had less. I've had a half acre before and done what I could on it. And you're doing great. Last day of the summer vacation for the kids. Oh, wow. Ours went back 2 weeks ago. Our kids, um, some of the kids, I think in California, are going back. My sister's great grandson went back today. Christy says, I got a bunch of vegetables out of a small garden. Yeah, there's a lot of people that have a very limited space, and I use containers because my ground is very hard. Although I have a good sized little garden that I started, an orchard, it's not coming along real fast because, it takes a couple of years to really get it the way I'd like to have it. We did put water over there so we can at least water the trees and my elderberry and my berries and make sure my bees have water. Oh, I've got some flowers too, a little bit of flowers. But right now, there's not much blooming. Goldenrod is, I think I saw some of it down the road a little bit. And my bees are really wanting some fresh flowers. I'm feeding them sugar water. Um, Suburban Homestead. Hey, how are you? I'm so good. So glad to see you guys. Hey, Chuck and Belinda, or Chuck or Belinda and Sandy. Wow. Oh, Janet says I have chickens, ducks, geese, 30 plus fruit trees and a garden. Wow, on two-thirds of an acre? That's amazing. Amazing. Um, Organized pineapples. She said her garden is dead and it's a container garden. Yeah, my hey Heather, how are you? Heather's chubby hubby. I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you. Um, I mean, it's awesome to be able to plant a garden on such a small space. I think Sandy at Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona, had a small garden in Arizona. I'm not sure how large it is in Wyoming, but she makes use of a very small space. Hopefully next year, I think I'm going to start planting some fall greens. If nothing, to feed the animals because the animal food is getting so expensive. I really need to find a way to supplement their feeding nutritional diets. Um, oh, your Wyoming garden is bigger. Okay, I was thinking that it was because you had a lot of fruit trees. Um, Also, I missed that question. The one you asked of how many fruit trees you had. I think I was way off. Way off. So my yes, don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you so much, Heather. Um the coyote is back. He came back yesterday at 2:30 in the afternoon. Luckily I was at home. Um no, Sandy, I don't have any marshmallow plants. And you have over 100 apple trees. Oh my goodness. That is amazing. I have 2 apple trees. If they survived the summer, one of them I know did. The other one I'm not sure if it's going to come back or not. Um, So I'm not real sure about that one. Mine is a new orchard, so fairly new orchard. It's going to take a while. Um, anyway, 2:30 in the afternoon, the coyote was back. It When it hit the camera, my son also gets the notification, but he was about 30 minutes away, and he said, "Are you home?" He said, "There's a coyote on the property. Hurry, lock up the goats." Mine were already locked up because I have one nanny that is in pre-early labor. She's showing signs of delivering any day. So I had already locked up my goats and my sheep. The cows were out and they were right down in the area where the coyote was at. And so I went to the gate and I saw the coyote. It had already jumped the fence, but it was heading towards my son's house. So I jumped in the car and I hot footed it down through the woods to his place, got his goats locked up, and I parked in an area where he's got several hundred quail. He said park back there, and if it comes around, take care of it. But it never came through the woods, so I don't know if it saw me there. I didn't make any noise, so. Oh, thanks, Sandy. I'd appreciate that. The bees will love the late flowers on the marshmallow plant. Isn't the marshmallow plant a medicinal plant also? If I'm not if I'm not correct on that. Um, so I never saw the coyote. He got two more cameras trying to pinpoint this dadgum thing, but luckily, I had moved the cow, so the baby calf is 2 weeks old now. I had already moved her up at the house because I knew that if she dropped that calf down there where that coyote has been, we were in big trouble. Christy says there is a lot of cedar trees on your property. Okay, and you worry about apples getting cedar rust. I've never had cedar rust. On my property at all. So I don't know what the conditions would be for cedar rust, and we're very humid here in Georgia. Um, Sandy says, Christy, the apples can get it, but if you keep an eye for I'm gonna have to put my glasses on. Eh, For the gals that form on the cedar trees, cut them off and no problem. Okay. So I'm not real sure what conditions that rust um, gets on the cedar. And we have really small cedars. I do cut the limbs and I throw them in with the goats because it's a natural dewormer for the goats, and they love it. So if you have a cedar tree in an area and there's goats, you'll see that it's eaten off as far as they can reach, and they'll get up on their hind legs and they'll eat that cedar. They love it. So I guess it's really good for them. Um, I lost one of my hives, my beehives. I reinstalled a new queen, and she said, "Thank you very much." And she took the bees that I still had left and she left. So, hey, Donna. She said, Linda, just an idea for you. Out here, we have a lot of farmers who go to the stores and get veggies, fruits, and even bread that is past due. Their freshness, they just dump it. Check your local stores. Oh, for additional food for like the pigs, and the pigs will eat anything. The cows will eat anything. I don't like the goats to eat bread with yeast in it. I'm not real sure if it'll hurt them or not, but generally I try to give them fresh fruit and vegetables. Um, yeah, a couple of our stores I've asked them for their spoils, and it's the craziest thing. It's like, no, we're not allowed to do that because we have some people that were taking the wilted and the spoiled stuff, and they were eating it and making them sick. Um, and that's pretty sad if they're so hungry that they have to eat the thrown away vegetables. Um, So now our stores, none of our stores will allow us to have any of the fruits and vegetables that are past their freshness. I've just not found any that, are willing to give them even to a rescue. So so far, I haven't been able to do that. Christy says the stores here wouldn't let you have the spent vegetables either. Yeah, and so I don't know. It is. It's such a waste because um, I have 3 pot-bellied pigs, 5 cows, 20 goats, um, some alpacas, ducks, and chickens, and they would all love the leftover vegetables and fruit. I guess I'm gonna have to find me a farmer who raises some type of crop or garden, and when he gets ready to pull all the plants out, offer to go down and help him pull the plants out if I can have them. I could do that. And that way I could, supplement them with some fresh greens and oh my God, if you buy a watermelon or a pumpkin, I can't believe we're going to be pumpkin season soon. And I didn't get my pumpkins in this year because my garden is so new. Sandy sent me a lot of really nice pumpkin seeds. So I'm anxious to plant those. What'd you say, Sandy? Have to go plant some succulents. Oh, thanks for stopping in, Sandy. Appreciate that. Hope you're having good weather in Wyoming. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, I have, I forgot what I was talking about now. It's my mind. Y'all see, this is not dirt. Does this look like somebody clubbed me? That was what the dentist did last week. So I don't know if he pinched me or um or that's where he gave me the shot because I had a root there that had to be dug out that was broken. Um, but now it just looked like I have a dirty spot on my face. It's really not dirt. It's a bruise. It's a week old and it's still there and it's still sore. So what do y'all you planning to put in a fall garden? Are you going to start now that the weather here is turning off cooler? We're running around 80 to 85 degrees, which is a whole lot better than 100 plus with 110 with the humidity this summer. It was awful. Um, but I am pulling out. I've got 18 of those big, huge mineral buckets that they use for the cows. A local farmer donated those to me. It was really nice of them. So I've been planting my stuff in those mineral buckets. So I'm about to redo my soil and get some of my fall things done. I would love to do some collards and Swiss chard. Um, I've got a whole bucket of seeds that I can use. That some I bought, some I was gifted. My sister sent a bunch from California to help me get started. The mice got in. My bucket of seeds was in the garden. I mean, in the barn, and it got turned over, and the lid was off, and the mice had a wonderful time eating all my seeds last year. So I have enough now, but it was a shame because I had some seeds that I had been saving a while that I wanted to use. Christy says I could feel fall in the air in Tennessee. Yeah, and they've been having a lot of rain up in Tennessee. I know those darn mice. Um, and I have all these cats around that are supposed to help me take care of those mice. I told my husband to quit feeding them that really fancy food, and then they'll get out there and eat those mice. So, um, farmers is an idea to ask, Donna said, yes, that's what I'm going to do. Heather says mice ate our boat. Whoa, really? Like the electrical part or just the seats or anything? They must have been really hungry mice. Now we found a snake in the house last, hmm, I guess it was last week. Um, my husband is pulling up the floor in the which well, it was our washroom, but now it is going to be our pantry slash washroom when we get it finished. He was pulling up the flooring. We knew it was originally a back porch. This house was built in 1936, so you can imagine they all had front porches and back porches where you usually spend all your time. Uh, Heather said it was a Zodiac type inflatable, and they chewed it up in spots so it could not be fixed. Oh, that's that's cruddy. But this snake, of course, it was a rat snake, but I think I told you guys I don't do snakes too well. But my husband found it and he waited for my son to come home from work. And my son's like, what do you want me to do? I said, I want you to hold that board so that your dad can take that snake grabber and get in there and grab that snake. I wasn't about to hold the I said, who's going to film it anyway? So it ended up being they got in the way and I couldn't film it anyway because there was not enough room. But it was about 5 foot long, but it had gotten in through the old piping and it was between the floor. Let me tell you about this floor. Um, it was not level, so he started pulling it up. So we had the first level that we saw was had those sticky, um, they're like sticky tiles. There's like squared off tiles, and so um, that was the first level, and then the second level was particle board, pressed wood. It wasn't even plywood. So he pulls that up, and then he finds some floor joists that had raised the floor up. That's where he found the snake between the two floors. So it wasn't really in the house, but it was close enough for me. So he had the floor joist, and underneath the floor joist was the old fashioned linoleum. I can't even say the word linoleum. And under the linoleum was more pressed wood. So he started pulling that up. And under the last level was the original wood floorboard. So it was like lock it was just little thin boards, but it was an original floor. So he left the original floor, but he had to replace everything else. Oh, of course he didn't replace the floor joists, he reused those because y'all know the price of wood. So he was able to reuse those, and he leveled the floor. After he took the linoleum up, he leveled the floor. So now we're back to 3 levels. So all we got to do is buy some 3/4 inch plywood, which, whew, have you priced that lately? I think seems like we paid $125 for um 3/4 inch plywood, each sheet. That's that that's a lot. Christy says all I can think of his that snake is going to make more babies. Yeah, we did take the whole floor, the second floor up, so there was not any, but it kept coming back, I guess, because if a mouse come up through that hole, because there was a hole where the piping was at, where the hot water and the cold water was at, for the water heater, and they didn't seal that off. So I guess it would come in, and it would, if a mouse come up through there, then it snatched it. So the phone likes to change what I say. Well, yeah, the phone changes what I say all the time. I have to read what I typed because my fingers are big and sometimes it types weird stuff. But so yeah, I have to watch what I say, especially if it automatically types it for you and you talk into it. I don't like to do that because one day it said something that was kind of off color, and it's like I didn't say that. So so yeah, I don't really like the phone to do my talking for me. I have enough trouble keeping my lips coordinated with my tongue. Donna said, "Yep, cloudy, humid, and desert storms today around Mojave. Fires are out in California." Oh, that's good news. That's good news. So, since I don't have cable TV, it's hard for me to keep up with the weather, and the Weather Channel doesn't always. They seem like every time I tune into it, it's talking about the same thing, so I don't get all the news. Christy says phones like to change what you say also. Yes, they can be naughty. They can. And my grandkids, they'll just push that little button and they'll automatically talk and it prints it for you. And sometimes I've gotten some really weird stuff from them. And it's like, I'll call their mother and say, look on so and so's phone and see what that last message was that she sent. So yeah, sometimes it's typed words that I know the kids didn't say. Yeah, I don't like snakes. So so I guess instead of snakes now we have coyote. And we have the fox too. Now she came back about 3, 4 days ago, but I'm always catching them. It seems like they're leaving the property, but I haven't missed any animals. So in about a month, as far as I know, they haven't gotten anything unless they got a duck, and I just can't tell. So, but whatever it is, we're just going to have to start going out there at 2 a.m. because they seem to come around 2:30 to 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So we've been seeing them. They do have an early morning pattern. So I guess we're just going to have to spend some time out there waiting for them. But they don't come every night. So it means I have enough trouble getting enough sleep as it is, but I'm getting less now because I'm worrying about them coming up and the first pen they come to is the pen where I have my blind goat and some young ones. And one of them in there, the coyote did try to drag her off. So she was already traumatized. Um, is my chat not moving? Are y'all not talking? Or am I something's happening? Um, I can't always tell. So now let's see, the kids are gone to school now. Oh, it looks fine. Okay. Um, Yes, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Christy says the raccoons that were after my chickens usually came in at 5 a.m. Yeah, I think they must go to bed early, take a nap, and then they come and scour around, between 2 and 5 o'clock. And just before dawn, the two baby goats that were missing, um, they were small enough that they could get out. So have you tried any tripwires type noise makers to scare them off? Um, no. And the reason I haven't is they're coming through the back side of the property, which actually belongs to the church next door. So, um, and it's so the property is so wide that we have considered putting electric down there, and we may have to just ask the church if that's okay. They're okay with us trimming the bushes and keeping the property up because they let the cows go down there. Hey, Higgs Rock Farm, how are you? I am doing good. Higgs Rock says we have cattle rustlers working our area. People better be watchful. Really? You know, I guess in today's times you don't think about cattle rustlers. I mean, it was a well-known practice back in the day when people were really starving. Okay, maybe they're just getting to the point where they're starving again. Christy says, when I was in Tennessee, something stirred up my friend's ducks, but I guess between their Pyrenees and me coming out, they left. Um, and I can't let my 2 Pyrenees back there because one is 5 months old and she's small enough that she has found a way to get out, and I haven't figured out where she's getting out, which also means that if there's a hole big enough for her to give out, there's a hole big enough for something to come in. So I guess I could let her out and find out where she goes, and I'll find that hole really fast. Heather says we had someone steal a young horse here a couple of weeks ago. Oh my goodness, that's awful. Um, I do have gates that are close to the road, and we have locks on them. Um, because we have to take the tractor through, or the farm truck, or um, so we have access from the road, but we do keep them padlocked. So it's not something that we go through. We go through the inner gates. One day, I'm going to do a video of how many gates I go through a day. We have a lot of gates. Donna said, sorry, I was listening to you and putting dishes away. Well, that sounds like a productive thing to do. Christy says, Higgs, a friend who was a deputy in Arkansas, said that there was mafia cattle rustling. Really? Hey, Rich Cat Ranch, how are you? Good morning. Oh, it's after lunch now. I just didn't realize that there was such a big problem with rustlers. Now, I did see on a channel that I watch when I get a chance is the Arms family. They had one of their alpacas come up missing, and then the second one, a couple of weeks later, the second one was shot. And that was really awful. I hadn't realized that they had the males separate down away from the main ranch, I guess. And so they found the second one, and somebody had actually shot him, I guess. It was really sad. Um, Rich Cat. Is this Rich or Cat? It's all good here. Finished outside chores and time with the dogs before it gets hot. Yeah, usually if I don't get my chores done by 10 o'clock, well, it is cooler today because it's going to be raining. But if I don't get everything done by 10, 11 at the most, I can't work out in the heat anymore like I used to. And I used to always, hey, Cat, Rich is never in the chat. Okay. He just has his name first. It's like with Chuck and Belinda. I never know if it's Chuck or Belinda, but most of the time it's Chuck. I don't know what Belinda's doing while he's on the computer. He's never shared that in his videos, have you, Chuck? But yeah, a good thing to do is one day I'll go around and go through every gate that I have on the property. Y'all will be really surprised that the main 6.3 acres has so many gates. But we believe in being able to walk through a gate easily. Chuck says I got her working. She's my sugar mama. Really? Um, well, we miss her when she's not here. Yeah. And for those who don't know, Donna Kendrick is actually my sister. Um, she's just one of my biggest supporters. Um, I've tried to talk her into doing a YouTube channel, but she's going through thousands of family pictures. Um, she's scanning them, putting them on thumb drives, and she's dispersing all the photos that have to do with each family. That's a big job. So she really has a lot to do. Besides, she raises her great grandson who is autistic. So she does have her hands full. So, yeah, she was the one that I went out to in California. She's the one I stayed with when we went out there for my brother's service. Um, and I'm still trying to catch up on my sleep. I'm still 3 hours behind. It's hard to well, I was always a late night person. I was always could stay up till, um, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. And so now that I'm 3 hours, I'm still probably 2 or 3 hours behind. So I don't get a lot of sleep just because I'm on a different time zone. And I don't know why it should bother me. I lived out there for years and I've lived in different time zones when we lived in Arkansas. We lived in Oklahoma. It was different time zones there too. But for some reason that 3-hour time zone has really got me. So, um other than that, y'all got anything coming up that we need to remind everyone to come check you out? Something going on that any premieres, um, any special things you've got going? Higgs says my sleep gets out of whack. It takes me a bit to get it right again. I don't get but 4 hours a night anyway. Yeah, you know what? For the first time last week, I actually dreamt. And I know that you have to sleep so many hours and get that REM sleep in order for you to dream. So that night, I must have got 5 hours sleep, which is a lot for me because I'll wake up every 2 or 3 hours, every little noise outside, the dog's barking, and and I'm kind of half awake because I'm expecting a goat to have her babies, and I'm sure she's going to have two or three this time. So I'm always kind of, it's kind of like watching out for your kids. You sleep with one eye open. That's probably me. Um, Higgs said, "Me too, Christy. I can start praying and my mind takes off and I see daylight." Donna says our two-legged thieves are stealing catalytic converters out of trucks and garages and personal items. Uh, Kat says, Linda, if you like word games, come and play with us at Tony's Brain Games tonight at 6:15. Oh, I love word games. I can't believe how much fun it is. He's a brain coach. I never knew that was a thing. I didn't either. Um, yeah, Higgs, one eye open always. Um, Donna says she has scanned over 2,000 family photos, and these are dating back, some of them to probably the 30s. And Rich says we have two new foster dogs. He's probably be staying on with our family. Oh, good, good. Brain fitness coach. Now that is something else. 6:15. It's Tori's. Oh, I should put my glasses on. Um, I thought it said Tony's, but that's Tori's? Tori's Brain Games. Um, and if you have a link, you're welcome to drop it. Um, that'll make it easier for those who have trouble finding channels. I did see someone playing bingo. Have y'all ever played bingo? I forget who was doing a live. Uh, it was a yarn channel. Robin with Roaming with the Rover, I think. She was doing bingo, but I never figured out how to play. I was watching it because I do like to play bingo. Uh, we used to enjoy Wednesday night bingo at the church when I was growing up, but I've never played the online bingo, so I don't know how to do that. Okay, there is um, Kat's YouTube channel. Yeah, that's great. I don't mind anyone dropping their link to their channel, not at all. I'm a long way, well, let's see, I'm 733 to my 2000, to my 1000. I don't know how many hours I have right now. I'm sure I'm way off on hours. And my other channel, my craft channel, is 300. It was 300, and it was over 300, 335 or something like that. So it's actually doing pretty good also. Um, so yeah, it's hard to keep up too, but I just have to keep my arts and crafts on that channel. I'm about to put up a new video. It's kind of a slideshow of the work that we're doing on the back of the farmhouse. We're taking 3 rooms, um, and we're tearing off the bedroom, and there was a little bathroom that just had a toilet and a sink. It did have a tub in it. Wasn't very useful. So we're making a one big bathroom, and we're making a really nice pantry, in where the washing machine's at. So I was going to do some. Hey, Hillbilly Chicken Ranch, how are you? Um, it's nice to see you. You're here. You're here. We still got time. Um, so I was going to do a slideshow of when we first started the work until where we're at today. So we're about to start rebuilding it back. So we've got it gutted pretty much now, and so now that we don't have any snakes in there anymore, I'm good. Um, I'm good. Higgs said before you marry a person, you should make them use a computer with a slow internet connection to see who they really are. Just saying. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Higgs. Um, and I'm I'm tech challenged, y'all. Now, all my kids, grandkids, they're all just, I mean, super good on the computer. We all grew up in a different generation. I didn't even see a computer until I was probably in my late 20s. So, and my husband built that one. He's real smart about stuff like that. But I didn't know, and I didn't use a computer probably for another 10 years. So I'm tech challenged. Uh, Chuck says, take right farm. I'm glad we didn't have that option when Belinda and I got married. Otherwise, she may have walked. Ah, oh, Chuck, I think Belinda is pretty stuck on you. Hello, Recyclable Homestead. How are you? Okay, Higgs, I'm glad that you came in, and I hope that we'll see you again. I do this every Wednesday. I just had to jump in there and start doing it. I'm not good at lives, but I can talk a little. So, who did I miss in the chat? Did I miss anyone? Um, just everybody saying hi to each other. That's good. So I do want to put that slideshow up just so that you can get an idea of the type of what we're doing. And because of all of this work and the trip I had to make to California and just everything that we're having to do right now, I'm not going to be able to go to Kentucky, and it just breaks my heart because I was really hoping that I would get to go this year again. We really enjoyed it. It's about 6-hour drive for us, which isn't too bad, but it's just we're in the middle of that predator. We're in the middle of rebuilding the back part of our house. So we just got so much going on. And one of my brothers from California is going to visit the third week in September. So he is driving in, so then that's another reason. So I guess I'm going to miss Kentucky this year. So, but I'll get to see everybody who posts, and so I will get to see what's going on. Um, Kat says you're invited to my next live on Friday at 2 p.m. Central. Is this the is this your regular time, Kat, or is this just a pop-up? Um, I'll make sure and I have my notifications on, y'all, and half the time I do not get those notifications until they're over. So I'm not sure why. So if y'all want to write down 2 p.m. on Friday Central Time for Rich Cat. She's going to be interviewing Devin and Ryan from Our New Land. Oh yeah, I watch Our New Land. Um, I gotta write that down. I gotta make notes, y'all. I gotta make notes. Roundup happens every Friday at this time. Okay, okay. Oh, I hope you can go, Christy. Um, I mean, there was probably what, maybe 100 people there last year. I met a lot of nice folks up there. It was our first one, and we went up and spent 2 days, and we met a lot of really nice people. Really nice people. Um, let's see. Hillbilly Chicken Ranch, her lives are at 1 p.m. Central Time Wednesdays now. Okay. Today will be my second one. Um, I think I caught the last of your first one, or I did a replay. Sometimes I can only do replay because if it hits me during the times where I feed and water, it's hard. I can listen in out in the pasture, but I can't say anything because my hands are usually dirty. Um, let's see. I'm late. Did you give an update on the new calf? You know what? Um, I did some footage yesterday of her playing. Oh my gosh. So I will put that up today. She is such a cute little calf. She was hopping around and kicking her feet up just like a little puppy. As a matter of fact, the youngest Pyrenees, Dakota would run down the fence line and the calf would be on the other side, and they would both run down the fence line and run back like they were playing. Uh, you know, but because we did take the extra steer out of there because he was kind of butting the calf. He was wanting the calf to play with him, but I removed him and put him back with the other cows so mama and baby could have their own time. And he was kind of dominating the food, and I felt like the heifer really needed the extra food so she could make sure she had plenty of milk. But that little calf is so cute, so I'll put that one up today also, um, of the calf. It's probably going to be a short or something very short, but yeah, the little calf is doing just super, super good. Um, oh, now something popped up and covered up my face. Okay. Um, so hillbilly, let's see, let me get that hillbilly ranch at one. Okay. Hillbilly chicken ranch. Very good. Um, hey, Danny Days, how are you? So glad you came in. And I missed Danny's last live too, but I've got set to catch her on replay. But if you have anything going on, Danny, feel free uh, to tell us about it. Oh, Danny, if you're like me, there's so many channels you like to watch, but you don't have enough time to watch them all when they're happening because sometimes there's two or three lives at one time. And I do have I have a computer. I do have two computers, but they're not always in the same location. And I have my iPad, which is not charged. I have my phone, and it's hard to watch different ones on different because you miss something. but I do let them just run sometimes, while I'm working. But yeah, but so I have more channels that I like to watch. I just don't seem to find the time to watch everybody, especially at the same time. Um, you can't be everywhere at once. That's true. And that's right. And most of us who have homesteading channels or something to do with animals, you have a lot of chores. Uh, there may be followers who don't have channels. They have a little bit more time that they can then run videos and help you out with watch time. And um, like I said, I'm over 700 on my subscribers, but um, I don't know if I don't get it by the end of the year, then things start dropping off. You know how that goes. Then you're back to square one. But I lost everything from the first year. But it was really, you know, those videos probably weren't that good. Yeah, it's like they're hungry every day. That's right, Danny. I try to run the lives that I've missed, and sometimes I run while I'm listening, and then I go back and make a comment later, um, when I have a minute. But I will be listening to it while I'm working, and because I don't want to have my phone in my hand when I'm over the water tanks and the pig's mud puddle because I'm always afraid of dropping stuff. Um, so yeah. Um, oh, good, Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. You trying to catch a lot of channels. That I have one computer that I just put, especially if somebody says they're really close, then I go ahead and play all of their videos um, as much as I can. I just put them on a loop and I'll play them even though I've seen some of them before. Um, but and like I said, sometimes I'll go back later and make a comment, um, just so that it sticks. So, Danny says, fortunately, it's raining outside all week, so I'll be able to catch up on YouTube and house chores that might be putting off when I'm outside. Yeah, that's true. Um, when I'm stuck, our rain schedule for this whole week and this weekend is like 30 to 40% a day, but it just seems like it rains at night and it makes it really humid in the daytime. So I still don't want to be out all day. I did move some chicks today. I had about 20 chicks that were in the brooder that were past time to be put out in their little long run. So I did do some chicken chores today. And I'm waiting on my little Nigerian dwarf. She's expecting, I know, twins, but she's had triplets and she's had quads before. So I don't know what she's going to have, but that poor girl is about to pop and she's bagged up and I think she's ready to go. So I've been watching her every couple of hours to see if I can catch some new baby goats being born. Speaking of which, Danny says she needed to go put clothes in the dryer. Yeah. Oh, yeah. While I'm doing this, I've got a load of clothes in the washer that I need to switch over myself. Um, and we're about done here anyway. But Danny says I want to let my hens brood, but I'm afraid they will come out to be a lot of roosters. Oh, Chicken Beak Mountain. Hey, how are you? I'm glad you came in. I'm glad you said hello. So everybody that's still here, say hi. Tell us, remind us your first name if you will. That'd be great. Um, so I don't have to look it up. But I'll put my glasses on so I make sure I can read this right. But Brad, okay, Brad, good. Um, I think that's a pretty cool name for your channel, Chicken Beak Mountain. Um, I'm gonna write that down. I can remember things better if I write them down. Um, most of the time. Yes, thank you, Heather. Um, So these little chickens, we were on lockdown for like 4 months from the public auctions, and that's usually where I would sell my extra roosters, um, my extra ducks. So they finally opened it back up. We had 40 ducks in the yard. That's way more than I ever want to have. Most of them were pecans, and they were nice size because we've been holding on to them for 4 months, and we didn't hatch any of them ourselves. These were all broodies that hatched everything, even the chickens. They hatched because I turned the incubators off back in maybe April, uh, because the alarms keep going off when it's so hot. So they've been hatching their own, but the ones that I moved out of the brooder today, I put them in there for their own safety because the cats will get them if they stay in the pens with the mamas. So, but I got to looking and they were 2/3 roosters. So they'll go to the public auction. Um, but we took 20 ducks, 14 chickens, and 8 roosters this last Saturday. So I'm trying to thin out all of these that I've been holding on to, and with all the roosters, I'm feeding them, and they're not doing a thing for me. But this is how we raise money for to buy hay, and hay has gone from 5.50 a bale to 8.65 a bale. So oh my gosh, it I can't cut my own pasture, my cows eat it down, so I don't get any hay. So I have to buy it from a secondary, a feed store or a farmer. Even the farmers have gone up on their hay because I was buying a 21, um, bale. It's 21 bales in a bale, and I was buying it for 5.50 a bale, and it went up from 115 to 150 for that big 21. And that's a big jump for me because we don't have the resources to pay those big prices. Your hay went from $9 to 15 a bale. Oh my Lord. Um, where are you at? That and see, I'm in Georgia, so I thought it was hurting. Danny Days still $5 from the locals there. And see, my locals went up. Then there's no middleman. Now I can understand the feed stores when they have to buy it for 5, that they have to charge 6, $7. Oh, but my farmers are went up. And they say how the fertilizer for the hay went up, and they spray their fields, um, you know, and I mean, I know everything's gone up. Sometimes I think it's just an excuse for everybody to raise the prices, even though their prices may not have changed. But I don't think I could afford 15 a bale. That'd be tough for me. You're in South Lake, Texas, near Fort Worth. Just got our second $500 electric bill this month, 2 months in a row. It's never been anywhere near this high. Oh my goodness. Um, my daughter was complaining that hers was $330 or something. And it's just her. Most of the time it's her, and the children come 2 days a week and every other weekend. So they're not there that much, but her bill is that high. Well, mine's not very high because I don't have any heat and air in my farmhouse. It went out in December and we were getting ready to remodel, and I wasn't willing to buy anything. Um, so my electric bill was $136, and we're not even living in there. We're cooking and we're working, but we're not actually living in there. The Hillbilly Chicken Ranch says Texas has a wheat shortage. Really? Wow. I didn't know that. My sister lives near Tyler and she raises paint horses. She said the hay had really gone up for her. And she has 3 retired barrel horse racers. So that's really all she's feeding is 3. Um, but she was saying how expensive the hay had gone up for her also. Um, Kat says her house is 1,465 square foot with 8-foot ceilings. Yeah, those ceilings will kill you, won't they? We haven't used the air conditioner any more than any other stuff. Danny says her electric bill was over 300 for us this month, and that is high for what I'm used to. Yeah. Um, let's see. My wife told me the other day that fry oil went from $20 to $90 a container. Oh my goodness. Um, chicken feed went up $1.50 here over the last year. We were paying $8.95 for a 40-pound or 50-pound bag, and I think it's $12.95 now. So just this year has gone up that much. So we give them a little bit of a layer food once a day, and then we let them free range the rest of the day. So we are feeding them. We're supplementing them. But there's some that the pigs, they can't go out and forage. We don't have the fencing for them to go out and forage, and the cows are eating the pasture, but we still give them hay, and we do give them some cattle rations once a day, usually in the morning, and we let them forage the rest of the day. The goats are the same way. They have hay and they have grass, and so we'll give them their pellets once a day. Um, but we did rehome I rehomed 15 goats that I had rescued, and I found homes for them. So I did cut down on that. So it has helped. The chicken feed at Tractor Supply was $20 a bag. The co-op still has 13 a bag. We don't have a co-op here, which would be nice if we did. Danny says hers is $10 for 40 pounds, and now it's 11.50. I can't let mine free range anymore. Yeah, there's just the predators. I mean, we're kind of stuck in a rut. They need to forage, but I can't let my guineas forage anymore. I have 15 guineas left, and I had more than that. But every time they would get out, some wouldn't come back. So I don't know if they just found new homes or something was getting them. Probably coyotes, since they're out during the daytime. Um, Cat says horse and duck and goose food went up $4 for 50-pound bag. I didn't know we don't have separate goose and duck food. I've just been feeding them the all stock, and it's just as much as the layer pellets. We started fermenting the chicken food to save on the feed bill. Yes, you know what? Um, I started fermenting last year, but then I had too many to do it. Um, but once I get the chicken, get all these extra roosters, I've got an extra 20 some roosters, and these are adult roosters. These aren't the chicks. Uh, so as soon as I get it down, then in the wintertime, I love to ferment because it just seems it's easier for me. Um, let's see, our issue has been the drought here. We're having to buy more hay because we don't have enough grass due to the lack of rain. Oh yeah, it you know we are lucky we have lush green grass in Georgia. It's been raining quite a bit here in the last 6 weeks. So we do have like really good grass. So that does help. Am I trying to get those chickens drunk? You know what? They love fermented food. They really love it. And but when you have 40 extra ducks and probably 20 extra roosters, I can't keep up with those. Yes, they get probiotics, and it's really good for their gut health. It is. And they really like fermented food. They really do. Um, she says, let's see, Kat says, I alternate feeding flock raiser with feeding Missouri waterfowl maintenance feed. Oh, really? That's $43 for a 50-pound bag. Oh my gosh. But they need the lower protein and the high niacin it provides. That is expensive food. Um, as long as you can card them before serving, it's all good. That's right. You gotta make sure they're legal. I've never seen one of my chickens wobbling around after they've eaten though. But they're happy, so maybe that's good. But I started opening up the extra pens because I have 9 extra separate pens for breeding. And I've been opening up the pens. Some of the roosters, I've switched them out because they were getting older. But if I let them out, then the yard roosters just tear them up. And so I have to make sure that I be careful about that. But so I've been opening up the pens and letting them go out in free range, and in the evening they go back to their pen, so I don't have a problem because they know which one's their pen. I haven't let out the lavender orpingtons. They have little chicks in there, and the cinnamon queens have little chicks that they've hatched themselves, so I don't let those out because the cat's always waiting right there at the door. They know which ones have the food. So yeah. uh let's see, y'all get the free range. um they're in the coop at night, yeah. That we A lot of our coops, we started out with chicken wire, which to me is the most useless thing they can sell on the market. um because even our bird dog, he went right through the larger stuff. When I had some Cornish cross in there, and he killed 15 of them just like that. And he is a bird dog. He was catching them and releasing them, catching them. He didn't even put a mark on them, but he killed them. Um, so now we use hardware cloth. So I've got a couple of different kinds of wire on my pins because as one of them started failing, then I just put another one layer on, and we went to the hardware cloth just because. And at the bottom, we had some leftover tin from the roof of one of the houses, that because we helped both the kids build houses. So we used that extra roofing tin, and we it was maybe a couple of feet high. We cut it in half and we put it around the pen to keep the baby chicks in. So hopefully they didn't get out and the cats didn't get them. Um, Kes says I have a video on building a predator proof pen. Oh, okay. Very good. Um, let's see. Hillbilly Chicken Ranch says we use dog pins and wrap it in rabbit wire. Is that the hardware cloth wire? Because I know there's a couple of sizes. Um, and we had a larger size in our rabbit hutches, so the poop would fall down. And but the hardware cloth, I mean, it's getting hard to find it. And we've got so many predators, it's unreal. Because 'cause they're out there and they're hungry too. And when they don't visit our farm, we have about a half a mile away, there's another farm, and that old farmer told my husband that he's been missing some ducks. So apparently when they don't get something at our house, then they go to the neighbors, and they have a lot of ducks and chickens over there too. So yes, predator proof hardware cloth is half inch. I think that's what we have too. But I won't ever buy chicken wire, especially to keep something out, because I mean, even the raccoons, they can go right through it. And none of mine, do bears eat chickens? Probably, probably. If they're hungry enough, they'll get into your ice chest. Donna was visiting Mammoth. They were camping at Mammoth, and someone near where they were camping, I think it was before they got there, but there was a bear that was up in the back of their truck going through their ice chest. Um, because the bears have, people will feed them and they're not supposed to do that. Um, so yeah, they'll eat anything. They go through and they'll pop a beer and drink it. Of course, we never have beer in ours, but we have Coke. So yeah, they'll eat. Danny says when mine were attacked, it was during the day about 2:30. Yes. Um, that that's when we saw the coyote yesterday. She came through when my camera popped up. It has Bluetooth, so it lets me know. It was 2:30 in the afternoon, and then it was 2:35, so she was still in that area, and I managed to get everybody locked up, in the meantime, but I did actually witness and saw her. I got to the fence and saw her. She had already jumped back out of the pasture, but she was standing on the other side peeking around the fence post, trying to see if I was there because she was gonna come back. I'm sure she was. Um, let's see, what did I miss in here? Our pen is reinforced with half-inch hardware cloth. All wires, floor and ceiling. Hungry predators will get in any way they can. Yes, you'd be amazed how the dexterity they have. Raccoons, especially, their fingers, their little paws work just like humans. They can undo latches and they're pretty ingenious about getting in. Danny said, I came home and I had a massacre in the yard, and it was only I was only gone for 2 hours. When I left, they were fine. And when I came back, one that were still there were dead and the rest were gone. Wow. And let's see, our ducks can't free range. Um, yeah, I can't let mine. I do have some pond ducks, but they've gone from six now. There's only four down there. So there's been a couple, and they're the big Muscovies, and they're 17 pounds apiece. So um, you know, that's carrying away a big duck, definitely a big duck. So but it just seems like no matter how much we try to keep them safe, there's always something that's trying to get at them. So I don't think I'm going to put my baby calf back in that big pasture for a while, especially until I know that these fox and the coyotes are gone. Um, yes, geese are great protectors. I had two Sebastopol geese, and I sold them to my neighbor. Um, And honestly wished I hadn't, but you could go out in the pasture and they would get after you, but they would not let anything else in that pasture. So they were really great, and they'd get after my granddaughter, and it just scared her to death. And she was only 5 at the time, so it really did scare her. But those Sebastopol geese, they're really large and very protective. Very. I don't know about other geese. That's the only ones I've ever had. So let's see. Yeah, I get plenty of eggs. If I get too many eggs from my chickens, I just give them back to the chickens because, with the heat during the daytime, if you don't collect the eggs twice a day, um, they start developing once it's over 80 degrees. So, you know, I can't eat them like that. So, um, they're very friendly, but they keep the dogs from getting too close, and they watch out for the hawks flying over. Yeah. Uh, you have Tulaus. Is that how you say Tulaus geese? I've never had anything but the Sebastopol, and they were beautiful geese. They're called the wedding dress geese because of the way they're too loose. Okay. The wedding dress geese are the Sebastopol. Um, they're huge, really huge, but they're really pretty. And I had photographers that wanted to take their pictures, and but they weren't friendly enough to get around children. Um, See, we are raising the meat chicks on crumbles. The chick starter's too expensive. We supplement them with scrambled turkey eggs. Yes, I do. I scramble up anything, and if I'm not sure how old it is, sometimes I just crack them all in a bowl and I leave the shell and the eggs, and they'll drink the eggs and eat the eggshell. So, but I've never actually had them crack the eggs in the nest. They're not egg eaters unless I break it open and scramble them up for them. So we had a YouTube friend visit a couple of weeks ago, and the ducks and geese ate from her hand. Really? Yeah, one of these geese that I had, I actually hatched it. And it was very friendly until I got the second one to keep it company. And then it got very possessive of the new goose, and it wouldn't let anybody around it. So I guess, it must have been a female. But I never got any eggs, and I sold it to the neighbor. She has horses, and she wanted it around her pond to help protect the pond animals. So she has them now. We have egg eaters in the last batch we raised. Yeah, even my dogs don't eat the eggs. So I guess I'm lucky there. But if I get extra eggs, I don't really sell them to the public much anymore. We have enough that we have eggs for the families that live here. Two of the kids live here with their kids. So, and I do eat quite a few eggs. They're good for you, and they taste really good. Y'all know fresh eggs are just nothing like them. So, well, I guess it's time to leave. I'm glad you guys all came in. I need to go switch out my clothes too. And um, I hope to see you guys next week. And I'll go over and watch a couple of your videos. And I do want to check out um, that game. What'd you call it? Yeah, I'll have to go back and look at it. Brain game. Um, so I will see you guys on the next one. And y'all have a good week, the rest of the week, okay? Thanks for coming. Bye, y'all. Appreciate the thumbs up too. Yes, I am going to put my reminder on for Tories. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. And let's keep our fingers crossed that we get that predator this week. I'm running out of time. I'm afraid they're going to really do some harm to one of my animals more than they already have. They've already got 4 baby goats. They're not getting any more. So we will see y'all on the next one. Bye. Hey, Teresa, how are you? I'm sorry I missed you too, Teresa. I'll try to catch you on Kathy's tonight. You're at work. Oh, yeah. Some people have a day job. This is my day job, just taking care of the animals. So, yes, the clothes can wait. I have to go to my kids' house to wash my clothes because I don't have a washer and dryer in the farmhouse since we're redoing that room. So I have to once a week. I got to truck my laundry down to their house when they're not at home and do my clothes. So, but I'll see you guys around this week. I appreciate it. Bye now.